Good day to all of you. Today I will not proceed yet with the RDA because I feel the need for you to have additional samples on encoding AACR2R in MARC21 format, and I want you to have a somewhat like a thorough understanding of how to encode these types of materials in in MARC21 template. Okay, so I gave you 10 examples or sample formats. We have electronic resource, one author, having uniform title, one author book, editor. Then we also have computer disk, wherein I make use of an audio CD for an example in encoding. Then we have more than 3 authors. We have DVD, conference paper, book with no date of publication or no copyright date, and serials. Okay, so let us first take a look at our first sample, electronic resource. In the electronic resource, as you can see in our example, we don't have an author. So we proceed with tag 245 with first indicator 0 and second indicator 0. First indicator 0 because we don't have an author. What we have is a title. So this is a title entry. And second indicator 0 because we don't have an article. Then for the title, we will indicate or transcribe it in subfield code A, Information Mexico. And then we have here subfield code H, that is for the specific material designation of the item that you are processing or cataloging. So it is an electronic resource. So electronic resource is in square brackets. Why square bracket? Because this is filled in by the cataloger. You did not find this information in the item you are cataloging. So this is a field information. So you are to indicate it or transcribe it with square brackets, and then space, then colon, space, then there you have the subfield code B, business. And so as you can see, we have here another tag 246 with subfield code, first indicator 3 and second indicator 0. What do we mean by first indicator 3? That means you are instructing the system to not place a note in the note area, but you are instructing it to add in that information to the added entry. Where is that added entry? That is in the tracing. We can tackle that in your cataloging tool already, but added entry is in tag 700. No, it's in 600, I think. I forgot, but we will discuss it in cataloging tool already. So you have there subfield code A, business. So meaning to say that the subtitle business, you can put in a varying form of title, meaning this part of the title of the item is a portion of the title proper or an alternative form of the title, because as you can see in the the main title, which is Information Mexico, is not indicating it's like vague information about what the item is all about. So it is in subtitles. So for our users to really retrieve this material in business, you can put in business in tag 246, meaning it is a varying form of title. Okay, so then we have here 256. Tag 256 is a computer file characteristics. This is a non-repeatable tag. So in here, this is where we can find the characteristics of a computer file, such as the type of file, so example of these computer programs. Then you can also indicate the number of record statements. So in this case here, the characteristic of this electronic format is this is an electronic data and programs. So now here, so that's it. So let's go to tag 260. So tag 256 and 260 has no indicators. If you can see there, it's blank. So in tag 260, in subfield code A, that is place of publication, you can see that it is indicated in what do you call that? Square brackets. And if you can see, we have there Houston, Texas. And after Texas, there is a question mark. And now you can see that Texas is abbreviated. So it's only text, then full stop, then question mark. Why question mark? Because there is no clear indication in the item you are cataloging or processing that this material is being published in Houston, Texas. But you have found an information indicator there, or information that there is a place, but no indication that it is the place of publication. Then subfield code B, that is the publisher, so Synergy Group. And there is no subfield code C, which is the copyright date or publication date. And now let's go back to the tag. Tag is tag 260. So as what I've said before, the example that I gave you last time, we have tag 264. But in AACR, it's still 260. It is only in RDA that tag 260, or the information, the publication information, has been transformed or changed into tag 264. Okay, so from tag 260 in RDA, it's already tag 264. And now let's proceed on to the next tag. We have tag 362. Why tag 362? Because this is an electronic resource. An electronic resource has no tag 300. What is in tag 300? That is pagination information or physical description of the material. So in electronic resource, what we have is the dates of publication and or sequential designation, that is tag 362. And this is, the format here is unformat, not formatted, it's not formatted, it is unformatted note or style. So we have there began in 1998, and we have there question mark. Why question mark? Because it is still no indication that it really began in 1998. It is only what they see in the resource or in the internet, in the World Wide Web. Then we have tag 538. So tag 538, this is the system details note. and this is the technical information about an item. So this item, in this tag, what is indicated is the mode of access, then colon space World Wide Web. So this is the system details note, so 538. Then you have there, next is tag 500. Then you got there title from title screen, viewed on September 29, 2003, and you indicate it in close open parenthesis. Then this information would depend, the information that you indicate in the note area or in tag 500, that is a general note, that is where you are to indicate information that you want your users or researchers to know. Okay, then another is tag 550. Tag 550 is the issuing body note. This is repeatable. You can have 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth na issuing body note, that you will have 4 to 5 or more tag 550. So this is an information about the current and former issuing bodies of a continuing resource, meaning to say the production is still continuing. It has not stopped yet. So what notes can be indicated in here? You can have, or you can include the editing, the compiling, or translating information that involves an issuing body, and notes denoting the item as an official organ of a society, and so on and so forth. So what we have here in subfield code A in tag 550, we have produced by Solutions Internet. Then you have there close at 1998 dash, then open, then Synergy Group 2003 dash, and it's still open, meaning to say the production is still ongoing. Okay, next tag is tag 520. Tag 520 is the note for summary. So summary there you have contains information and links for corporations and individuals planning to do business in Mexico. Then the website includes links to general overviews of business and economic conditions, directories of companies, and fairs and expositions by industry, business tips, and financial information. So you can indicate the summary of the item you are processing or cataloging. That is in tag 520. The next, we have MARC tag 651. That is a tag for the subject heading. 651 because you have there Mexico, and Mexico is a geography. So 651 is a tag for geographical subject heading. So first indicator is blank, then second indicator is 0. Why 0? Because this this subject heading is taken from the Library of Congress subject heading. So that is why it's 0. Then you have there subfield code A, Mexico, then subfield code X, Commerce, then subfield code Z, North America. So each of these subfield codes has its own equivalence. And so X is for general subdivision. And we have Z there, subfield code Z is for geographic subdivision. Okay, so next tag is another 651. Then first indicator blank, second indicator 0, because we got this subject heading from the Library of Congress subject headings. Then in subfield code A we have North America, then subfield code X, that is general subdivision, we have commerce, and subfield code Z, geographic subdivision is Mexico. Then you have another subject heading that is tag 650. Then the same with first indicator blank, second indicator 0, then subfield code A investments, comma foreign, then subfield code Z Mexico. And another tag 650 is foreign trade promotion in subfield code A, and subfield code Z is Mexico. So tag 650 or 650 is a tag for general subject heading or topical subject heading. Next sample we have is a title with one author and with a uniform title. So our title here is Philosophy, translated by E.B. Ashton. So as you can see, you have their tag. So let's first take a look at tag 010. Tag 010 is an LC number. So it's the Library of Congress who is creating this number. So this is also an auto-generated system. So it is their system who provided this number, and this is also important if we are going to access this material from their own database, because we can make use of this number, this Library of Congress number, in retrieving this information or this title in their own database. The next is tag 020, that is ISBN. You have their the 10-digit number, the 10-digit ISBN. Then this volume 2 here, you can have this in subfield code Q. Before, they don't have that subfield code Q because this is published in 1960, 1970, or 71, and then we don't know as to when they process this or catalog this. So the subfield code Q has not been used during this time for sure, because they are still indicating volume 2 in open close parentheses right after the ISBN number or the ISBN. Then we have their 040, that is the cataloging source or the one who catalog this material. So this is in the Department of Library of Congress. So that's DLC. This is from the Library of Congress. Then 041, that is the language code, that is in English and in German. So you can have this information, this code here for the tag 041. You can just access this in the Library of Congress website. There's no need for you to memorize this, but it is much better if you are familiar with these codes here. Then 050, that is the Library of Congress class number. So you have their B3279 period J33 subfield code BP513. So this is the Library of Congress class number or call number. This is a complete set of call number. Then 082, this is the Dewey Decimal class number. 193. So this is philosophy, because 100 is philosophy. Then let's go on to tag 100. Tag 100 is the author of the book or the name responsible or the person responsible in creating this material. So it is Jasper's. The transcription is in transposed format. So you have first the family name Jaspers, then comma, followed by Carl, first name, then comma, then you have there the subfield code D, that is, you have there the date of birth, then the death date. So 1883 up to 1969, then period. So you have their first indicator 1 in tag 100, then second indicator blank. So meaning you have informing or telling the system that this material here, this item has an entry, and so you have to, the system has to create a title entry for this. Then you have there the uniform title already. It's tag 240. Then first indicator 1, second indicator 0. Then the uniform title is philosophy, that is translated in English. So subfield code L is the translation of the original material. Then tag 245, the main title philosophy, then the punctuation here, this is wrong actually. So you have there diagonal slash. So subfield code C, then translated by E.B. Ashton. So as you can see in tag 100, we are indicating the original author of the material and not the translator, because in AACR2R we are not to take translator as the main entry heading, but rather the original author of the item. So now we have tag 260, the publication information. You have there Chicago. Then the right or the correct punctuation there is colon. You change that. The notes you have there, you change it into space colon. Then subfield code B, University of Chicago Press, comma. Then subfield code C, open and close parentheses 1969 to 71. Why and close parentheses? Because they don't have an information about the publication of this material. So it is just filled in by the cataloger. Where did the cataloger got this information? So she might maybe researched on this as to its publication of this, because you cannot just easily filled in information that you are not really sure good. So in this case here, there's still unsureness of this, but still they got this somewhere, maybe from a source that they got from either in an internet or any information, or from a book list, or books from books that are, or a tool used by the catalogers, because catalogers has also tools in determining especially the birth and the death dates of the authors. But nowadays we don't have that because of the technology that we have. Okay, then we have here tag 300. We already have the tag 300 a while ago in our first sample. We don't have tag 300, but rather we have tag, what tag was that? It was tag 538, the mode of access of the electronic resource. But in this printed material here, the book, we have tag 300. So we have subfield code A 3V. What do we mean by that? That is a 3-volume book. 3V. That V stands for volume. Then next is you have semicolon. So V period space, then semicolon, then subfield code C, the dimension of the book, 24 cm. So please you modify or you change or you correct the proper or the correct indicators, the punctuations that I have given you in there, so that you will not be confused, because during this time they are not that really particular with the ISBD punctuations. Okay, then we have tag 500. So it is indicated there that translation of philosophy. Then tag 505, that is a note for contents, meaning the composition of the book. So in volume 1 you have their philosophical world orientation. Volume 2, Existential Elucidation. Volume 3, Metaphysics. Okay, so the punctuations that they're going to make use in separating one element from the other is a period slash dash dash or long dash. That's the punctuations that they're going to use there, but you have to put in a space after the double dash or the long dash and the volume number. Okay, then tag 650, first indicator blank, second indicator 0, because we got this subject headings from the Library of Congress subject headings, or LCSH. So you have their philosophy. So you can either have one subject heading or more. Okay, but in this case here, the subject heading that is only applicable to this material is philosophy, which is more general. But during this day, you can have some more subject headings that you can assign to this material based on the LCSH, because the Library of Congress subject headings has expanding its definitions, the terminologies, the terms that is accepted in the subject headings. Okay, and now let's proceed to sample 3, one author book. This is the most simplest form of cataloging. Okay, so you have there, the same is true with this. In our sample 1, we have tag 010, that is the Library of Congress number generated again by their system. Then we have 020, that is for ISBN. During this time, they only have the 10-digit ISBN. Then we have also the tag 040, DLC, meaning that is cataloged by the Library of Congress. Tag 050, that is the Library of Congress subject call number. That is the whole call number, the complete set of their call number. Then 082, that is the class number, 303.64. Okay, and the 19th there in subfield code 2, that is the edition of the DDC, or the Dewey Decimal Classification they are using. Then tag 100, you have there the first indicator 1, second indicator blank, then first indicator the name of the author in transposed form, Taylor Stan, then his birth date, then no indication of the death date. If Taylor Stan is already dead, we can indicate the death date there, the year of his death. And then tag 245, we have there first indicator 1 and second indicator 0, because we have no article in the title. So the title is Social Science and Revolution, then space, then dash, or diagonal dash, then slash, the diagonal slash, and then subfield code C, San Taylor, then full stop or period. Then we have tag 260, the publication information. We have there New York, then subfield code B, St. Martin's Press, the publisher, and then the copyright date or the publication date, which is 1984, then full stop. Okay, let's proceed to tag 300. Tag 300 is the physical information of the item. Then we have there the preliminary page in subfield code A, preliminary page X or 10, then comma, space, 176 pages, wherein the page number, the page name word has been abbreviated into letter P, then period, then space, colon, then subfield code B, illustration, and abbreviated into IL, then period, then space, semicolon, and then the subfield code C, 23 cm, period, for the dimension of the item. And so we have here MARC tag 500, the general note. in which it is indicated in here cover title. So meaning to say, cover title and the title page of the book is of different is written differently, because in the title page the "and" there is spelled out, whereas in the cover title it is in ampersand, or in the ampersand. So social science and revolutions, then period. Then we have there 504. 504 is for the note area for references or bibliography. So you have their specific pages for the bibliography. So bibliography, colon, space, pages 168 to 173, period. Then we have there also tag 500 includes index. So there is no need for you to really sequence the tags. Just like in 500, there you can have first 500, then 504, then another 500, then you can also indicate a 520 there, whichever you think is essential, or that the user or researcher is of kind of needed, or they need the information the most, gani. And then we have 650 revolutions, that is a general or topical subject. Then another topical subject 650 is social sciences. Then subfield code X, research. And then we also have their tag 740. Tag 740, that is, why do we have this tag 740? This is an added entry for the cover title, which is the social science and in ampersand revolutions. In our sample 4, let's proceed on to the tag 245. So we don't have tag 245, tag 100, because our sample is a material or an item with an editor as the responsible in producing this item here. So tag 245, first and second indicators are 0. Then the subfield code A title, main title is contemporary issues in social sciences, then space, diagonal slash, then subfield code C, edited by Jonah I. Onuha, comma, and J.O.C. Ozioko. Okay, so next is tag 260, the place of publication. Then in AACR, you can indicate 1 or 2 or 3 place of publications, but with the limited space of the card, which is the 3x5 card, you only indicate 1. But here, in using MARC template, you can indicate 2. In separating it, the 2 places, you are to make use of the semicolon, then another subfield code A, because the subfield code A is repeatable. Then subfield code B, Asena publishers, then, and again, as the publisher can also be 2 or 3, more than one publishers, and then the copyright date or the publication date, then full stop. And take note that the tag for the publication information is still in tag 260, because we are still in AACR 2R. Okay, then we have tag 300. Tag 300 is the physical information or description, physical description of the item. So first indicator, no indicators for this, it's blank. Then we have there the 300, that it indicates that it has 300 pages. Then since it has no illustrations, so the next punctuation mark that we're going to use is the semicolon, indicating that the next element that we are going to indicate or to transcribe is a dimension of the item. So you have there, after the page number, you have their space and then semicolon and then space, the dimension, which is 21 cm. And that is, please indicate it in your notes, that is subfield code C. So because this sample here, actually, I took this from the Library of Congress website in their bibliography, in their OPAC. I got this there, and actually they are not that really particular with the punctuations, but we really have to be particular with that, and most especially with the subfield codes and the tags that we're going to make use, because that is very important. Then we have the notes there. We have 504. It indicates includes bibliographical references. Tag 504 is for references or bibliography. Then we have here tag 505, the contents of the book. So if you have enough time as a cataloger and you think that there is a need for your researchers, especially if your researchers are always on the go, you may indicate the table of contents in tag 505, so that there's no need for them to go to the shelves, get the material or the book, browse through the table of contents, in which it will somewhat like a waste of time for them. So in this case here, we are giving them enough time to browse through while they are in front of the computer searching on possible titles that they need. Whereas if wala ni siya, if there's no table of contents, they still have to go through to the shelves, then pull out the books, then browse through the table of contents. Then if they don't need it, then they will put it back again on the shelves or on the table, and then go back again to the computer and search. So in this case here, if we have the availability of table of contents in our OPAC, so they have enough time to just browse through, meaning they have saved time. Okay, so next is the subject headings, which is 651. Tag 651 is for geographic subject heading. So you have there Nigeria. Then subfield code X, social conditions. X is for general subject headings. Okay. Then another 651, Nigeria. Then subfield code X, economic conditions. Then and so on and so forth. Then you have here the editors is in tag 700, meaning they are indicated in tag 700 as an added entry for the one responsible in creating the material. So you have there the two editors as per indicated in tag 245 subfield code C. So we have there Onoha Jonah I and Ozioko JOC. And now let's proceed with our next sample, the compact disc. Specifically, we have the audio disc. So let's proceed with tag 245 with both the indicators are 0. Then in the subfield code A, we have the main title Marley's Chains, and then subfield code H, there is no punctuation after the main title. You just proceed directly to the subfield code H. Then the SMD, the specific material designation, is sound recording, and again it is in square brackets because it is being filled in by the cataloger. And then we have the diagonal slash, then we have the subfield code C, honey rider, or the statement of responsibility. If you've noticed, we have a statement of responsibility that is honey rider, but we don't have mark tag 100 for the wherein we did not indicate her name in tag 100. But let's proceed with tag 511. You have the tag 511. That is a tag for participant or performer note. So in the participant or performer note, this is the information about the participants, the players, narrators, or presenters or performers of the recording or the audio. So that is, you will indicate the performer in tag 511. Then you can indicate in tag 500 general note that it is a compact disc. Then 505, we have here again tag 505, that is the content note area. You can indicate all the titles from the disc. And then you can also put in other important information that your users might need it or your researchers might need it. Then we have tag 650, that is, we have there the second indicator 0 again for the Library of Congress subject headings. And then subfield code A for the 650 is rock music. Then subfield code Y, 2011 to 2020, that is in Y is for the subfield code subject heading subdivision for chronology. And then 655, tag 655 is for this is a genre. The genre is rock music. The next sample that we have is for a title with more than 3 authors. So in AACR2R, if there are more than 3 authors, we are not allowed to indicate the first author in tag 100. And so we will proceed with tag 245 with first and second indicators 0. So in subfield code A, that's the main title, we have basic mathematics for electronics. Then we have subfield code C, Nelson M. Cook. Then mark of omission, 3 dots, then et al. In square brackets. So here in the statement of responsibility, we are only to indicate the first named author that is indicated in the title page, or if there's none in the title page, we are to take it from the copyright page or the verse of the title page or in the cover page. Then in this case here, this title has an edition statement. So we have tag 250. We have 7th edition, 7th, 7, then TH, then edition ED period. Next is tag 260. We have discussed this already. Then we have the place of publication, the publisher, and the copyright date. And then tag 300, that is preliminary page XI, then 804 pages, and illustration, then the dimension, which is 25 centimeter. Then you have there the tag 500 includes index, that is a general note. Then the subject headings in tag 650, that is topical subject, electrical engineering, and subheadings, mathematics in subfield code X. Then another tag 650 for subject headings, electronics, and subfield code X for subheading, mathematics. And then indicate tag 7. Indicate Nelson M. Cook in tag 700, wherein the first indicator is 1 and the second indicator is blank. Then you transpose Nelson's name. So now Cook, Nelson, and you can indicate, if you know the middle name of the person, you can indicate it. So we have Magor, Nelson Magor. Then we have there tag 856. You may or may not indicate it. If you have information about publication description with a URL address, you can indicate it. And the table of contents also, you can indicate if you have information about it, or if you get anything from the website about the information, the electronic information about this book with regards to their publisher and the table of contents. And now let's proceed to the 7th sample, that is DVD. So we have also, let's again proceed to tag 245 with 2 zeros as indicators. First and second indicators are 0. So you have their Science and Technology Video Disc Series as the main title. Then subfield code C, produced by Mr. Wizard Studio. Then produced by Don Herbert, Mr. and in close and open parentheses, that's Mr. Wizard. Then tag 260, it's 1992. So we only have subfield code C, the publication date or the copyright date. We don't have information on the place and the publisher. So if that would be the case in AACR, if there is no place of publication, you are to indicate in subfield code A, you take note on this, subfield code A, tag 260 for subfield code A, then close open square brackets. In square brackets, you indicate SL, meaning Shen Loco, no location. Shen Loco. That is in what language is that? Is that a Greek language? Okay, then no publisher. That is still the same, subfield code B, and in square brackets, that is, you indicate S period N, Shen Nomine. Okay, so SN. Then place of publication SL, place of publisher SN, and then the copyright date or the publication date or whatever date that is indicated in there. So I think in this case here, this is a copyright date. Then in tag 300, that is the information about the running time of the DVD. So in subfield code A, we have one video disc of one laser video disc or DVD laser, then approximately 910 minutes. Then subfield code B, it's sound and colored. Then subfield code C, 12 inches viewing copy. Okay, so where can we get this information? You have to view the disc for you to get this, or you may have this information from the container of the DVD. Okay, so you have there next tag 500, the copyright information of the DVD, the item. Then copyright application title. Then again we have 511. We are to indicate Don Herbert, who is the producer of the item of the DVD. And then 505, that is the content. The content is it is indicated there: physics, chemistry, earth and space, plants and simple organisms, animals, ecology, and human biology. Then another information, general notes that you may wish your users or researchers want to know. You have there include 7 teachers' guides, 7 discs in one container. On video disc container number, there's an information there. Then sources used, copyright data sheet, copyright data database, video disc container, video disc container. Okay, so in 541, received information about how you retrieve this information. So received in November 19, 1993. It's a viewing copy, copyright deposit, and copyright collection. So you may either have this information or not. And you can indicate this information also in tag 500. Then 655, that is the genre of the item. It's educational or cultural films and video. Then 710, that is the added entry for the corporate author. We have corporate author also. This information, this item is from the Library of Congress copyright collection. Then 740, this is an added entry, series. This is a series statement. Series added entry for series. So science and technology video disc series. Okay, so that's it. Next sample we have is conference paper with parallel title. So this is a conference paper conducted by the electrical computer engineering. Okay, so let's proceed to tag 110. So in tag 110, first indicator 2, meaning this is a direct name. So you are to indicate the title of the conference, the issuing body of the conference. So it's the Canadian Conference on Electrical and Computer Engineering. So that is, you are to indicate in subfield code A. Then in subfield code J, you indicate issuing body. That is the subfield code for the issuing body, or information about those who produce the material or the item. And then tag 210, that is the conference proceeding, the abbreviated title of the conference. And then in tag 222, it is a unique title for a continuing resource that is assigned in conjunction with an ISSN recorded in field 022. So we have here a tag 002, which stands for the International Standard Serial Number. So this conference proceeding has also an ISSN, or an International Standard Serial Number. And so we have tag 245, first indicator 1, because we have there a tag 110, that is the one responsible in producing this item here. So in subfield code A, in tag 245, we have conference proceedings, and then subfield code C, the Canadian Conference on Electrical and Computer Engineering, who is this body here is the issuing body. And then we also have another statement of responsibility. It is sponsored by the Canadian Society for Electrical Engineering, and then we have the parallel title that is in French, so we cannot pronounce it as but if you know how to do French language, you may read it, but I don't know how to read it. But it's a parallel title. It's the Canadian the French title of the conference. Okay, and then you proceed on to the tag 246, in which you are to indicate the variant title of the conference proceeding. Okay, so you have a lot of options there, tags for you to indicate all the possible all the possible retrieval mode of the retrieval entry of our researchers or users. Okay, then we have tag 264, that is, so this is already in RDA format. So we have there tag 264 instead of tag 260. Then we have Montreal as the place of publication. Then the publisher there that is again in French word. And then we have the copyright information, or the publication information, which is still open because I think this is conducted annually by this what you call this, this is a organization. They conduct this annually. They started it in 1988. And so you have the 310, it is issued annually. Yes, it's annual. Then tag 336, 337, 338. If you've noticed, we don't have these tags here is already present. These tags are already made use because this is in RDA format. So you just take note of the information indicated in here, in which you can make use in due time. Okay. And now for our next sample, a book with no date of publication or no copyright date. This is different from that of no place of publication and no publisher, in which we have discussed it in sample number 7. So here in sample number 9, this is sample 9, an item with no, or a title with no date of publication or no copyright date. So what are we going to do here? So let us first discuss on let's take on tag 041 first. So tag 041, first indicator 1, and then you have there ENG-SPA, meaning the language is in English and Spanish. And you can also indicate that in tag 546. In tag 546, that is a note for the languages. So you can indicate, or you can spell it out in there, so that your users or your researchers will know that that material has an English and a Spanish language indicated. Okay, so now let's have tag 100. First indicator 1, then subfield code A, the name of the author. We have Cervantes Saavedra Miguel de. Then it has his date of birth and death date. And then in tag 240, we have there Don Quixote. That's the title. That's the uniform title of the book, and it is in English, translated in English. And the title of the book is Adventures of Don Quixote de la Mancha. Okay, then in tag 246, you have there the variant title, or you can indicate in there the title Don Quixote without the Adventures of Don Quixote de la Mancha, just straightly the Don Quixote title. So that's the variant title. And then you will wonder as to why we don't have subfield code C in tag 245. So you can, or you should indicate, if I may say, you should indicate in tag 245 Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra. Okay, then do not include the dates of his birth and death. You just indicate it in tag 100. And then you have the tag 260, the publication information. So it is where we can see the publication date or the copyright date. So there you have New York as the place of publication, then the publisher G. Routledge, and in subfield code C it is ND in square brackets. So no date, I don't know what's the Greek word for that, I forgot. So if there is no place of publication, no publisher, and no date, so you will have in subfield code A square brackets SL, then subfield code B square brackets SN, and in subfield code C square brackets ND. Okay, and then you have the tag 300. Then you have preliminary page and the number of pages, and then the illustration illustrations in tag AACR2R, in AACR2R ruling, it should be ILL because this one is an old material being processed. And then partly colored. If you can see there, it's part col in close open parentheses. That means it's partly colored. So there are some of the illustrations that are colored. Then the dimension is 18 centimeter. And in general note, you have their Kevlar collection. And then you have 655, the genre of the material or the item. And then tag 740, that's an added entry, Don Quixote de la Mancha. And the last but not the least sample is the serial publication. So in this case here, we have an academic journal entitled American Medical Association Archives of Neurology and Psychiatry. So there is a lot to take notice of or to take note of in processing is serial. Okay, so you have there tag 022. That is International Standard Serial Number. You have to indicate the serial number. Like you have to really look into the first publication where the ISSN is indicated. But anyway, most of the publication has the ISSN number already. You can just check it with your existing collection, the ISSN of the journal. So in this case here, we have, let's proceed to tag 210. And tag 210 is the abbreviated form of the tag 245, which is the complete title. And tag 222, that is the key title, and it is the unique title for a continuing resource that is assigned in conjunction with an ISSN record. Okay, so next is the tag 245. You have there the complete title, and then in tag 246, that is the variant title in which AMA is being spelled out. It's American Medical Association Archives of Neurology and Psychiatry. And then another tag 246, it has AMA with no periods or full stops, unlike the tag 210 and tag 222. And then you have there also tag 260, that is the publication information. And if you can see in subfield code C, 1950 to 1959, meaning this publication has already stopped. It has ceased its publication. So all in all, it has 18 volumes. And then it is published monthly. In this format here, the application that is being used in the rules is already in RDA. If you see, it's already RDA because it's being spelled out already, the volumes, the illustrations. And then you already have the tags 336, tag 337, and 338. And then we will expound on that during our next discussion. And then in tag 362, it indicates the coverage of the volume numbers. Then you have there from volume 64 to volume 81. And then you have to make sure, you have to check on your libraries as to what publication you have in the collection. And that's what you're going to indicate in tag 500. In tag 500, you are to indicate information like library has, then colon, volume, what volumes do you have in the collection. So for example, you have volumes 64 to 80, and but you don't have volume 81, which is the last publication. Okay, and then so that is for the purpose of letting your users or researchers know what volumes that your library has. And then there's a lot of information indicated in there. For tag 650, it has, if you take note of the second indicators of tag 650, you have lots of tag 650 there, the subject headings. First two tag 650 that they are taking those subject headings from the Library of Congress subject headings. Another tag 650 second indicator 6, they're taking it from, that's a different language for subject headings. And then you have there another 7 in the second indicator of tag 650. They're taking it from the Sears list. And then next you have their second indicator 2. The subject headings they're using is the medical subject headings, then and so on and so forth. And then they also indicate that there is an online version. They indicate it in tag 776. So there's an online version of this journal with the title AMA Archives of Neurology and Psychiatry. Okay, and then other information there, it's there's a lot of information that you can get wherein users can really, or researchers can really have an advantage of this information. Okay, so we better need to have the right the correct MARC tag so that this can easily be retrieved, and we have to indicate the needed information for our users or researchers so that we can save their time and their efforts.